what are your expectations for the next year in terms of, is the hobby going to continue to be as awesome as it is? Are we going to continue to have more and more people coming into it? And I recognize we've lost people too. I mean,
Sure.
you're going to lose some people that came in with dollar signs in their eyes, but that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
They were never really in it in the first place. They were never true collectors, I don't think. I don't think we're going to lose any true collectors. But Tony, what are some of your thoughts on, like, just the direction the hobby's going in 2023?
Yeah, I think with those people leaving, it leaves, like you said, the truer collectors. And I think that's going to lift the hobby as a whole. We all learned a lot during that time. And, we're still here. So if we're still here, let's make the best of it. The days of the quick flip are pretty much over, so let's move past that. And let's build a better hobby. Let's be smarter collectors. Let's take care of each other. Let's be aware of those guys that are in here for the wrong reasons. I think all of that happened during the boom. There was a lot of people who got ripped off. There's a lot of people who are fly by night people. Now they're not here, and now we are. So let's just keep building a better community. I also see, I see a lot of streamlining coming. I see, every day you look, there's a new partnership where you can buy your cards, grade them graded, get them vaulted and all that stuff, a one-stop shop. So that's something I'm going to be interested to see how that all kind of works out, to see who's partnering with who next. And again, just for the, like Oz always says, for the good of the realm, let's see how, for the good of the hobby. I think that we're headed in a good direction. I think we're probably at the floor now where all these cards are going to start coming back up a little bit, maybe not as fast as they did before, but I think good things are ahead. It's the people who are here again. We are the people. Like John Newman says, the hobby's the people.
The hobby's the
Eh,
people. Sports
yeah,
Card Nation.
for sure. Shout out to John. But yeah, I think we're in good hands, and we're going. I think we're going places as a whole.
Oz, let's go to you. A bit of, we've had fluctuations in values, of course, the pre-pandemic, we shoot up, we come back, we correct, or we just level out. Here we are. What do you think? How do you see the future 2023 and beyond, if you want to speak to it?
Mm-hmm.
And again, none of us can predict what's
Yeah.
going to happen. Never mind 2023. How about next week, next month? We don't know. Never mind past 2023. But really, the reason I asked the question isn't to see, isn't to get some crazy prediction. It's more to get a pulse on your perspective on the climate of the hobby right now, as it is right now, and and even a bit about there are narratives in the hobby that paint sometimes an ugly light on our hobby, and if that's the narrative that you are first introduced to when you come into the hobby, you may not stick around too long. Speak a little bit, Oz, about, I guess you can blend in a few things here. Like, how do you see 2023 unfolding within the hobby? And how do you see content and narratives kind of evolving over the next
Yeah.
little while?
I think the future's bright. We had the boom. Everybody knows about the boom. That's when it was just on fire. Didn't matter what you purchased. You could get it today and sell it for 2x, 3x, 5x by the end of the week, just depending on how that player performed. It's not that easy, and it never was meant to be that easy. When Tony and I got into it, we were looking at cars that we were going to buy today and put them away, stash them away from 15, 20 years from now, and say, okay, let's look at what we invested in, and hopefully it's grown over this time, which is usually how sports card operated. You would get something, hold it, and then later on down the road, you try to make a profit on it. And here comes the sneaker flippers. Like, Gary Vee went into his whole mantra of what exactly he thought it was, and what came about. The sneaker flippers, they were running out of inventory. They come over here, cards are smaller, they're easier to sell. So now all of a sudden these comps are going through the roof. Everybody's just loving it. And now it's like, boom, there's a crash. And like you said, all these people that came in to make that money dried up. Now they're ushering back out. But what's left? The true collectors, the people that are passionate about the hobby, that love the cars, that truly do this because it's an escape from, the reality. Look, reality is hard. Life isn't easy for a lot of us. lots of things going on. So to be able to come into your safe space and to have these cards and to, you know, be nostalgic about these things. I mean, it's really, you know, the intrinsic value that these cards offer is so much greater than, you know, the monetary. But at the end of the day, what I see happening, you know, with Fanatics coming on board and just the people that are still here and the creators that are going out every day and making this content, I just think it's getting better and better. And I really do see a rebound. It's, you know, I mean, obviously it's still down, but in my mind, I'm looking at certain things. It really depends on what it is, because there's, you know, vintage cars that are at the highest values that they've ever been. You know, the Roberto's Clementes and, you know, the Mickey Mantles just sold for crazy amounts, you know. So there's always your staples, the Babe Ruths or your Honus Wagners, that are always going to continue to just keep going up because of what they mean to the hobby. But then there's others, you know, that are you know, Willie Mays is another card that I believe he's still alive, you know, and we always talk about that morbid view. Okay, once he passes, there's going to be that bump, you know, and it's going to happen. But once people realize, man, Willie was like one of, if not one of the best, you know, baseball players ever to play, and they realize that his card values are going to go through the roof. So really depending on what you're collecting and what you're curating in your, you know, in your collection, is like my main thing is like, listen, now that you're in it and you have a passion, whatever it is you decide to collect, whether it's cards, basketball cards, hockey cards, just do it to your best of your ability, and that you have a mindset, okay, I'm going to try to have this collection that you love, but that at the end of the day will have some value because you went out and curated it, you know, to the best of your ability that you can afford. You don't want to go into something and try to, you know, obviously buy $10,000, $15,000 cards on a credit card, or, you know, take out a mortgage, or, you know, we don't want to do that. Do it at your own pace. I always say, you know, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. You know, if you want to come in, get a card, maybe one a month, you know, start out short and, you know, small, and then you can go ahead. Okay, you take that $100 card, add another $100, trade it up, and then you keep moving up little by little, leveling up. But I see like, you know, the people that are coming in, they're excited. And like I said, I think the future's bright with Fanatics coming in. There's going to be a lot of things going on. I think they're going to open up the eyes of a lot of people. So yeah, to me, you know, we've had a dip, but I think it's on the way up.
Well said, man. I enjoyed that soliloquy right there. As did Sean from Victory Investments. Says Oz is
That's our
spitting
guy.
truth out here. There you go.